What up, YouTube? We back with another video. Today, we're talking about the buffs and nerfs done to Duelist in Season 1 of Marvel Rivals. If you like the video, don't forget to hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you don't miss a future video. Without further ado, let's get straight into it. First up, we got Black Panther. I hate this nerf. This is a massive nerf to Black Panther, and I hate it. Pretty much unplayable now. A lot of people don't play Black Panther anymore. He was already kind of undervalued. He wasn't great in Season 0, and now this just even made him worse. So what they did is they reduced additional health provided to self after refreshing Barbarian Marks with Spirit Rend from 40 to 30. The upper limit of additional health provided from 120 to 75, which is a massive nerf. Your healers already couldn't hit you in heals. Your healers already couldn't heal you, and now they're just nerfing his sustain. And which is one of the main reasons he was even good, is because he could literally just dash, and, you know, always keep health up. Another thing that he's just not good for is there's a bug right now where your thing just doesn't hit. Your dash won't hit for some reason. You'll hear the chink, you'll hear like the shing, and like it sounds like you hit someone, you feel like you hit someone, but it just doesn't refresh and doesn't do damage. It's very annoying, very irritating. Yeah, Black Panther, rip the nerf. Black Widow definitely needed an optimization. Very much true. What they did was increase the range of the first effective edge dancer from a 3-meter radius to a 5-meter radius. Reduce the time required for Fleet Foot to recover from 0 stamina to full from 12 seconds to 4 seconds. If you don't know, it's a crazy buff. Reduce the time required for Electroplasma Explosion to reach maximum power from 1 second to 0.6 seconds. This is all like massive buffs for Black Widow. Still not playable. You know, maybe if you have the team up ability for her, then maybe she could be kind of playable. But why play a Black Widow when you can play a Hela or a Hawkeye? Speaking of Hawkeye, slightly reduce the spread angle between every 2 blast arrows. Reduce the triggering distance of passive ability archers focus from 60 meters to 40 meters. Reduce the maximum additional damage of the passive from 80 to 70. Hawkeye did get a nerf, but he's still disgusting. He can still one-shot squishies from mid-range and can absolutely be cracked in higher ranks if you're good at with the aim. Hela, all they did was reduce the base health from 275 to 250, but what they don't say on here is that they took the seasonal buff away, which gave her, I want to say 15% more damage, but now it's just 10%, so she does 5% less damage than last season. But even at that, she can still shred teams. It doesn't say here, but they did take the seasonal buff down 5%. She's doing 5% less damage than she did last season, but still, she's a crazy hero. Still really good. The base health from 275 to 250 isn't significant, but it does. You can definitely notice. Magic, increase Umbral Incursion damage in Dark Child form from 115 to 135. I think this is very much needed. Her ult felt very underwhelming, but now that they upped the damage a little bit, it's going to feel very good. It didn't feel very underwhelming. It felt a little bit underwhelming when you would dash and hit the Umbral Incursion, and it wouldn't do a lot of damage. Like her ult felt like it just felt a buffed version of herself. Now it's going to feel like a cracked version of herself. Moon Knight. Increase the number of talons generated by hand of Khonshu, his ultimate ability, from 10 to 14. Increase the explosion radius of each talon from 4 meters to 5 meters. See, this was a crazy buff. His ult can now kill through Luna Snow's ult, can kill through a stacked Cloak and Dagger ult, can kill through a Mantis ult. This ult is gross. Moon Knight got a significant buff, and I see Moon Knight players all the time in my ranked lobbies now. Namor, another buff that we very much needed. Adjust the throwing field of Monstro spawn and frozen spawn. Now Namor can more accurately throw them to the desired location. Now, what they don't also mention here is that I think his squids got buffed. I'm not sure where people are getting that from, but a lot of people are talking about how his squid is buffed, specifically the ice buff that he gets from the Luna Snow group up. Psylocke. Now, Dance of the Butterfly will check for barriers, including Magneto's Metal Borg, Hulk's and blah blah blah. I think they made it so she can't kill through barriers. I'm not sure though, but Psylocke, I just know Psylocke's ultimate got nerfed, and Psylocke's still a good character. It's just her ult isn't going to shred, and you can definitely counter it now. Punisher, slightly reduce the spread of deliverance and adjudication. Punisher is probably one of the best DPS in the games right now. If you see him paired up with a Rocket Raccoon, you might be cooked. It's not even funny how easily he can beam you through ults. He can beam through imagine with a Rocket Raccoon. Imagine a Rocket Raccoon popping his ult to counter a Luna ult. Like, what? Why would that even happen? Oh wait, Punisher, he starts shredding through the ult. Take in mind, you have to have very good aim and you have to hit every single shot in order to really shred and have unlimited ammo, but it can happen. And if it does happen, people are going to go crazy. Scarlet Witch, increase chaos controls fixed damage from 50 per second to 60 per second, reduce the percentage damage per second from 5 to 3, increase Chthonian burst projectile damage from 30 to 35. Wanda needed a buff. In lower ranks, she was definitely overpicked and people love to play her. She's easily counterable in higher ranks. Even like gold plus, she can get countered. Bronze and silver, you see her really wreaking havoc. But she got buffed now, which she needed. Still not going to be crazy playable. I don't think a lot of people are going to be playing her. There's just too many good heroes in the game that you'd rather play. Oh, next up we got Storm. Storm got a crazy buff, but still, you're not going to see a lot of them. I have been seeing a lot of them in my plat and diamond lobbies as I'm ranking up, but none of them are like, oh my goodness, Storm, I'm really scared. It's her ult that really is scary, but it's just like any other ult you can easily counter with. I've kept a lot of my teammates alive with a Hulk group bubble, or like a Magneto bubble or something like that. So they increased the wind blade projectile speed from 100 meters per second to 150 meters per second, and left click damage from 50 to 55. That's a pretty big buff. Increased bolt rush damage from 70 to 80, pretty big buff. After releasing Omega Hurricane, her ultimate ability, the bonus health provided for herself will be increased from 350 to 450. Moreover, following its conclusion, the extra health will no longer vanish instantly, but instead diminish at a rate of 100 per second. This keeps her very much more survivable, so she's gonna have a lot more health in her ult, and then when she's out of her ult, it's gonna slowly decrease instead of just instantly being gone. So her ult's gonna be a way to stay alive as well. Squirrel Girl, addition of a new effect to the unbeatable Squirrel Tsunami. Her ultimate ability, the squirrels will rush towards the nearest enemy after bouncing instead of bouncing randomly. This was very much needed for Squirrel Girl. Her ult was so underwhelming. I literally would stand still and just watch the ult bounce, just completely miss me and hit nobody. And I'm like, that ult was terrible. But now that it bounces from wall to wall to the nearest enemy, it's gonna be somewhat reliable, especially in those choke points when they're pushing hard, or you want to secure a kill on a low person and they drop back behind a shield. It's gonna be possible now. Also reduces Squirrel Girl's Tsunami health from 600 to 300. I don't see anyone focusing a Squirrel Girl ult, maybe now because it's 300 health, but still, the buff is pretty good. Winter Soldier. I don't know why they buffed this man, but they did. Winter Soldier was one of the best DPS in Season 0, and now he is the best in Season 1. What they did was they increased the bonus health provided by Bionic Hook and Tainted Voltage from 30 to 40. If you didn't know that he would get extra health from the abilities he used, and they buffed that to gain 10 more extra health when he uses his hook or his voltage. Also increased the projectile damage from 70 to 75. Insane. Reduce the area damage from 70 to 65, and reduce damage decay from 65%, 40 meters to 60%. I don't know what they're talking about. Reduce the area damage from 70 to 65, reduce damage decay. I don't know. I don't know what they're talking about on that, but increases base health from 250 to 275, and they give him a health buff. So he's getting a health buff. He got a health buff, and he's going to have more health every time he uses an ability, and his abilities are already spammable. Insane. Lastly, we got Wolverine. Logan Roll Steven increased the basic combat strength, but a slight decrease to additional survivability after activating a dying animal. You know what's crazy is I've seen a ton of Wolverines. I don't know if that's because I'm maining Hulk this season. I don't know if that's because I'm playing Hulk and these guys want to be thrown into the fight, but I've seen a lot of Wolverines this season. They increase his base health from 300 to 350, which is huge, pretty big. Reduce the damage reduction ratio provided from Undying Animal from 50% to 40%, which is a 10% decrease. It is kind of a lot, but the 50 health is pretty much just balances it out. But Wolverine's still playable. These are very, I think, game altering buffs and nerfs. I think the biggest buff they gave was to Punisher, or not Punisher, Bucky, when he really didn't need a buff. Winter Soldier, he really didn't need a buff, but they buffed him anyways. This is going to be insane. There's going to be Buckies everywhere. I think the worst nerf that came out, I want to say, is probably Black Panther. They really made him unplayable. We're going to put out another tier list. My tier list video kind of popped off a little bit. So we're going to do another tier list. And instead of low ranks, it's going to be, you know, just all around heroes you can play with that are ranked. So thank you for clicking on the video. If you liked it, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a future episode. I love y'all. Click here for the other videos. I love y'all, boys. We out. Deuces.